Hello and welcome to another video of Fatui Only, where we try to beat Genshin Impact using only Fatui characters. So this video is going to be kind of like a weird thing because there's going to be a lot of things that happen at some point. Of course, we're still before Ororon, so we still have some things to do, especially in Natlan, and also try to continue building our characters. And I realized that I think it's the best time to actually get a new weapon for Lyney. And what better to get than the EM craftable weapon that we can get from the Forge. This is mainly because now we can have an EM set, or at least a viridescent banner set. And maybe having an EM build could be even better than having like a attack 5-star weapon that doesn't do much. It's only for main DPSs. So that's the only reason behind it. There is nothing else mystically about it. But I think that's going to be maybe an improvement to our damage potential and maybe Lyney's utility. I think it's going to be great to see what happens if we get her C6. I know that Arlecchino is going to rerun pretty much soon, in January, I think, by the end of January maybe. So if Arlecchino comes with Lyney and Fremine, that will be our chance to actually get a 5-star and 2 C6 constellations. That would be insanely good. So yeah, I would really like to see if they're coming with their father, or if they're not coming with her. I think that would be ideal, but we will see what happens. But yeah, I think that's basically what I'm planning to do. There is nothing that we can do right now, nothing that we can pull for. Maybe try to do the new Natlan quests in real time, but I don't think it's going to be something really interesting happening until we can pull for both Arlecchino and also try to get Tartaglia, which is going to be insane. So I was able to craft the weapon, but I don't have any of the materials that we require. And luckily, this domain, I think it's going to be easier because like we have 2 elements that could counteract Electro, which are Cryo and Pyro. I don't know if they're going to counteract. I think Cryo counteracts Electro, but at the same time the reactions with Electro and Pyro are really strong. So I feel that's going to be maybe easier for us to do, but I feel that this is not a domain that's going to take forever. So we can farm it and use our resin into trying to upgrade this weapon that we get from Lyney. I don't know if it's going to be the best one. I think it will be. But if you have any other recommendations, let me know. I think we don't have much for weapons, especially to craft them and level them up. But if I have to, or if I have some of them, then or if I think it's worth it, then let me know. I think I would like to pull for Arlecchino's weapon. I don't know if that's going to happen at some point, because I think priority will be to get characters. So I would like to get Arlecchino and Tartaglia, which it's weird because they're both in different banners and they both have different systems. So I don't know if that's going to be possible. At the same time, I think we have some pity in both the character banner and the weapon banner, so maybe if we are lucky, we don't need to lose the 50-50 of these kind of things. If I know this account and you know how unlucky we are, we probably are going to lose our 50-50s all the time, so that's going to be hard for us to get them, but we will see what happens in the future. I know that Arlecchino is a really anticipated character, so I feel that's going to be kind of like a problem. I don't think Tartaglia is going to be an interesting character. I don't even know if someone's going to pull for that weird banner, because I don't think they have any interesting character. Maybe Shenhe, that's been like since forever, since she was released. But regarding the other characters, I don't think they're really important or interesting. But we will see what happens, basically. I think I will have all the materials required to level the weapons until level 80. I think that's the maximum that we can do right now, because the next upgrade is going to be at level 50. Let's see, yes, level 80. Oh, we need to farm some things. Perfect. So yeah, I think that's the max ascension that we can get. By now, we need to reach adventure rank 50 to actually improve our characters, and that's going to take a little bit more time than what we were supposed to do. But we're going to reach that eventually. I know that the early levels are kind of like easier to gain, so we will see what happens. As you can see here, I'm trying to do the Inazuma quest to actually unlock it. And the reason behind is that we did Natlan and we used the characters that we were required to use. There was Kachina and also Molani. So as long as I use basic attacks, I think I'm going to be happy with that. If we need to use any other like skills or other things, I think they're going to be against it. Especially because we want to use our main characters for reactions, basically. So only Fatui is for reactions. If they are forced us to use different characters, like we happened before, I think I'm going to take it in the end. We cannot wish for the best and we cannot avoid this. Although we did it in Archons only, in the end we have to do it in the... in the end we have to do it because we need to continue unlocking the boss that it was actually required for Raiden Shogun. So in the end I think like you win some things, you lose some things, but at least it's nothing really important, in my opinion. And I think I didn't mention why we're actually trying to reach Inazuma. And it's basically because there is an event that was available this time where you need to take pictures to get Primogens. And one of the locations, or several of the locations, were in Inazuma. So the whole reason to actually do this is not because we want to advance through the Archon quest or anything like that. It's because we want the Primogens. So I don't know if it's going to be worth it or not. I don't know if it's going to be worth the hassle, but at least some parts of Inazuma are unlocked. As I mentioned before, I don't think we need to unlock Inazuma at any point, because I don't think we have any requirements for the different materials that we need. I need to pay attention to what Wonder actually needs, but the rest of the Fatui, there was no Fatui introduced in Inazuma. Well, we know that one of the Fatuis was actually murdered, and I actually want her to be a playable character, but in the end, I don't think that's going to happen at any time point. Basically, I don't think we're going to get Signora back. We will see what happens in the future. Maybe she's resurrected in Natlan. I don't think so, but we will see. Maybe there is a surprise in the future, especially in Shinetsaya. We don't know what's going to happen, but I don't think she's going to be playable. And I'm really excited, or I'm really wanting for them to release new characters. So after we get, if we get them, if we get Arlecchino and we get Tartaglia, I think the only Fatui that's available to us is going to be Wanderer. So that's going to be kind of like depressing to have them all. So what do we need to do after that? Although it's going to be fun to get them because it means that we're going to need to build two characters, we need to make new teams, we need to try the Spiral Abyss, we're going to unlock new reactions. Most of them are main DPSs, which is going to be a problem, but what I'm trying to see or think is like, what are we going to do after that? How long are we going to get or wait until we get another Fatui character that we can play or we can get? So that's my main concern. I don't want to wait until we get to Shinetsnaya. That's going to feel so boring, also out of content. I know that we can do content about Natlan because that's where we're doing it in this account, but after that, then what happens? Are we not going to do anything else? Maybe it's time to move to another challenge until we get something more interesting. Who knows? Let me know what would you like to see, or what do you think we should do if we get both Tartaglia and Arlecchino. What our goals should be and how we can play with them. I feel that the Spiral Abyss would be a great way to see if that improves or not. And having different teams and different builds for different occasions. Maybe we can transform one of them into a support. Who knows? I know that Wonder as a healer is really tempting, but we will see what's going to happen. Which are going to be better to form teams or to synergize together, and how we can play with that. I think Arlecchino can be all alone in one side, and then we have the rest of the characters in the second side. Who knows? Maybe we can have a Tartaglia main DPS. I need to know how to play with Tartaglia at some point, and also Arlecchino. Because I know that Tartaglia changed the fighting style from like using the bow to like a distant combat. And I think when I had to test him in different occasions, it was really hard for me to know how to play him at all. So I feel like that's going to be fun. Maybe it's going to be a learning curve. I feel like Fatui characters are kind of like complicated in the way that they fight or their skills are used, but yeah, maybe that's the whole point. Like we need to learn how to use them and we can exploit them. But yeah, let's see if we can get them both. That would be amazing. It would be sad that both of them are coming at the same time because it's not going to give us content for a long run. But at the same time, it's good that we can actually try to get them. We have been saving a lot of primogens because there's nothing else to pull for us. So that's going to be good to finally spend them in characters that we want to get. Now, if I have to prioritize, would I prioritize to get Arlecchino or would I prioritize to get Tartaglia? I don't know what to say about that. I think I will try to get Arlecchino because it's super powerful, and that's the whole point of making this challenge, to play with Arlecchino. So that will be at least the first goal completed at some point. Then I also would like to get a new element, especially now that I know that that element is good for Ororon, and we can get some electrocharge reactions that can be actually used. Maybe that would be the smartest decision. Again, I don't think that's going to increase our DPS potential at any point, and it's not like it's going to improve our damage potential more than what Arlecchino can do. So yeah, I feel that that's going to be a good question or a good thing to do. If we get the 50-50, that's going to be very simple or so easy. But if we not, then we might need to choose between getting Arlecchino's weapon and a character. And of course, although I feel like Arlecchino's weapon is amazing, and it changed to the size and everything, I think that we should actually try to pull for Tartaglia to get a new character. Always like character over weapons, in my opinion. But then I know that most of the weapons that are useful for Arlecchino are either 5-star or like you need to buy them or pay for them with real money. I know one of them it's from the store, Paimon store, I think, but it needs to rotate. So I hope that when Arlecchino comes, that weapon actually rotates and I can actually get it. I have enough saved for that occasion, so it would be a good way to spend those juicy. Instead of getting wishes, we can actually get that. Or maybe instead of getting a crown that I think is not worth it, maybe we can get that weapon, because I don't think we have anything else that we can actually use. So yeah, we will think what do we need to do. I feel like once we see the banners and see how lucky or unlucky we are, it's going to determine what are we going to do with them. Like I was actually telling, not only we're trying to go through Inazuma, but also we're trying to complete some of the different missions in Natlan. We're a little bit behind into the whole exploration thing. I think I was traveling for a really long time, and that actually affected my way of doing them, but I hope we can do them on time. Basically, what we're trying to do here is try to upgrade or try to improve our reputation in one of the different tribes, I think Skinich tribe, and for that we need to defeat this boss again. So I think it's affected by something, maybe by corruption or something like that, maybe by the Abyss, and we actually need to defeat him and help or rescue him. So that would be fun actually to do. Unfortunately, we died, so we will need to try to reach the enemy at some point. I hope we can use the characters that we have. That would be better than having to use Kanich. I hope that we don't have to use Kanich. But yeah, I think that we will see what else we need to do. And yeah, there are not many things that we can actually do right now. We might need to wait until we get an update. Probably at some point I'm going to reach the point where we're going to reach until we pull for Ororon, and after that it's going to be like less video still like now, because you already saw all the pulls and everything for Ororon. So maybe until we try to build him a little bit more. I know that I want to attempt the Spiral Abyss with him. I think I didn't do it already, so that will be fun to see if we can actually get further with having an extra character, and especially having a different element. I'm not going to improve our elements per se or our DPS potential, but who knows? Maybe that's what we actually need to do. Maybe a new character, a new reaction. I think I will still play him with Femine, because I feel like the Cryo Electro reaction reducing the physical defense is great for Femine as a main DPS. I don't think he's going to provide much utility for lyney, because basically the pyro and electro reactions push the enemies outside or like far away, so that's going to be even harder for me, that I'm terrible at aiming with the bow, to actually try to aim properly. So I feel that's going to be worse than what we have now. I don't know what's going to be a best character to run along lyney. Maybe in the future we can actually try to run Lynette, but at the same time Lynette is our only healer, or is the only character with sustain, so that's why I don't want to have them in the same place, because lyney can sustain himself, and then if every other character dies in the second half, at least have Lynette there to sustain ourselves and to continue to re-challenge. So yeah, I don't know what we're going to do, but at least it's going to be fun to see, and see if we can make new teams, new builds, and new ways to improve our DPS potential with more characters and more reactions, maybe different artifact sets. Maybe I should explore that and see what else we can do, or what else we can farm to transform them into a better support than a main DPS with different characters. So yeah, I feel that that's going to be another way of thinking of how to build teams, instead of like the regular role that they play. Try to think of supplementary roles that we can use and we can farm, especially because now we don't have many things to farm. I might need to start farming, now that I think so, for maybe artifacts for both arlecchino and Tartaglia, although we don't have the characters and we are not 100% sure we're going to get them. Maybe that would be something that we should do. And if we do it, I don't know if they're all in the strongbox, so we will see if that's going to be possible. Maybe I should farm one and then strongbox the other one. We will see what happens and which one is easier to farm. But yeah, I feel that that's something that we can actually aim for and see if it's worth it or not. Especially, I think our the best in slot set for arlecchino, they are from Fontaine. I know that the first set that was available from Fontaine is already in the strongbox, because we were able to get them for lyney. But I don't know if the ones that arlecchino runs, which I think she runs with Bond of Life, it's over there. So that would be another thing to pay attention to and see if that actually can be doable or not. And for Tartaglia, I think he was using the one that it's in the mountain in Dragonspine. So maybe that could be a good farming, because we have pyro, so that maybe that could be beneficial for us farming. We will see. We will see what he needs. Maybe there's a new set that I haven't used in forever, because like I never played Tartaglia. I think I said it before. I never had a Fatui character in my teams. I always I have Archons in my original account, but never Fatui characters, which is really fun. And that was one of the reasons why I created this challenge, because I want to play with them and see how do they play. I feel they're always complicated and makes everything harder, but at least it might be fun to actually explore with them and try to see how do they work and build characters that I never built before. I feel like that's the point of these type of challenges, is to play. Well, it's a little bit harder on the player, because like you cannot use the best things for the characters, but at the same time you can test different characters that you would never use in your real life. So I think with this we actually finished the whole set, or the whole quest. Yes, we are able to finish it. I think we now are upgrading, yes, our reputation. And I think with this is a perfect moment to finish the video. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share if you really like it. And I see you in the next one. Bye bye.